Tonight at Norwood, there's going to be a candlelight vigil, and it's organised by the Transport Workers Union. The National Assistant Secretary's in town, Michael Kane, and he joins me now. Michael, thanks for your time.
Oh, thanks, Matt. Good to be here.
So, why are you targeting Coles in SA?
Well, this is quite a massive expansion at Norwood. Coles, who owns that Norwood Mall, they're expanding the square meterage from 4,000 to 8,300. Now, ordinarily, that's a very, very good news story, an injection for the economy,
jobs
as well, and we're all supportive of that. And we're all supportive of a strong Australian company like Coles when they're doing the appropriate thing. The problem is, Matt, that with this expansion, there'll be an expansion of the space that trucks are allowed to dock in, but the facilities and the docking arrangements are just substandard. And even now the council's own private assessment shows that this is substandard in some regards. And what that means is that you're going to have the inevitability of trucks being held up, not being able to get onto the dock, waiting in the suburban streets around Norwood Mall. We know from our experience that that's a recipe for disaster. Just shouldn't be happening. And there's a very real risk here that in squeezing every last square metre for retail space at the expense of making sure that there's an appropriate docking system and appropriate space for trucks, that you get a very, very real danger of people being injured and indeed the worst outcome, a tragedy of someone being killed.
I'm sure you would have spoken with Coles about this, or what's their approach been?
Well, Coles' approach is the same approach as it's taking, unfortunately, in across its operations. And we've seen and we've been pointing out, and our members have been pointing out for a long time now, that Coles is really very aggressive in its market. Whether it's squeezing vegetable growers, whether it's the dairy producers, the transport companies that they engage, squeezing every last dollar so that the workers they use have to work too long or too fast to make a living for themselves and their families. And here we are, another example of Coles squeezing this time for retail at the expense of safety.
Right, okay, and the vigil tonight, obviously it'll be employees of your union, I'm sure, truck drivers, etc., and anyone else that wants to come along?
That's exactly right. Truck drivers and their family, would encourage anyone to come along, just ask some questions, get across the issues, because this is very serious for that community of Norwood. And we wouldn't expect it from a company like Coles who says they're a good corporate citizen. This just has to stop.
Do you think it'll make a difference? Will they listen?
I hope it makes a difference, and we'd say to the council that, you've got an obligation. Don't get into bed with Coles on this issue. Make sure that the development application is appropriately amended to ensure that there's space for these trucks to do their work safely.
Have councillors given you a listen?
Well, the council deals with this issue tonight. This development application, and that's part of the reason that we're raising the profile of this, because it would be too easy under that sheer economic power that Coles has, the profile that it has across the Australian community, for a council to be bullied as Coles suppliers are bullied. That's going to be a terrible outcome for the community of Norwood.
Yeah, indeed. Now, and the vigil's at the town hall, isn't it?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. All right.